Hi, my name's Auhl. I'm the golf professional at Cranbourne Golf Club. Today what we're going to do is talk about consistency, something that we hear in every single golf lesson, doesn't matter what it is. We always want to be more consistent. So from a swinging point of view, we all can hit really good golf shots. We can all play shots that we go, well, that's just exactly what I want to do. From a consistency point of view, to be able to be more consistent just requires you to do the same thing every single time. So the ball that sits on the ground over there has no arms, no legs, no brain, certainly doesn't listen to me when I talk to it, so essentially it only goes as a result of what I do. From a consistency point of view, just realistically, you just have to do the same thing over and over and over again. Now, in a golf lesson, I'll consistently ask someone, well, how do you know whether you're doing your swing right or wrong? And the answer, generally speaking, from an amateur golfer is, oh, just the ball works, or it doesn't work, or it feels good. Fantastic, but probably round the wrong way a little bit, unfortunately, is good players tend to work on positions. Good players work on, well, this is what I'm actually trying to do. So, in terms of playing more consistently, golf is repetitions. Habits are formed through repetition. So, from a swinging point of view, what do you have to do? Well, if you can't answer that question, then realistically, how are you ever going to do the same thing over and over and over again? So from a coaching point of view, one of the most important thing that we can teach you is this is what you need to do to achieve the result that you're after. So from a swing point of view, I'm going to have a practice swing. I'm going to say, well, this is what I have to do to hit the shot correctly. So let's say I'm hitting a 60-metre pitch shot. So from a swing point of view, my right wrist is always going to work back on itself. It's an athletic motion. It works this way. Right? So my wrist always goes in that direction. The club starts to move in a circular arc. From there, I'll just turn my torso whatever length I want. So in this case, let's say a 60-metre pitch shot. So my wrist works back on itself. My body rotates to this position. From there, I'm going to turn through to this position. So from a practicing point of view, or from a consistency point of view, I'll do a practice swing. This is what I'm trying to do. It's the most important thing to always be able to say. This is what I'm trying to do. The average player says, don't hit it left, don't hit it right, don't do this, don't do that. Good players, on the other hand, it's always about what we're trying to do. So I'm going to have a practice swing. This is what I'm going to do. My right wrist is working back. I'm going to turn my torso back and through to a finish. I'll do another practice swing, do exactly the same thing. I know I've done it right because my weight's on my left foot, up on my toe, facing where I'm going. Once I come over to the ball, essentially all I'm doing is thinking the same thing. I want to hinge my wrist, I'm going to turn my torso back and through to a finish position. At the end of the swing, I can check to make sure I've done it correctly. The ball goes as a function of that. If I stick another ball there, once I stick another ball in front of me, what do I have to do? It's the same question again. What do I have to do? So from here, I do exactly the same thing. My right wrist works back on itself. My elbow goes by my side. I rotate my torso from here to here. As I come over to the ball, all I'm thinking about is doing exactly the same thing. My right wrist works back. My body just rotates. At the end of my swing, I'm in the same position again. So consistency is repetition. Consistency is saying, this is what I need to do. So from a coaching point of view, one of the hardest things for amateur golfers, or to get them to do, is to be consistent with what they do. They constantly want to change everything. Oh, I want to change my grip. I want to change my ball placement. Good players, on the other hand, are always saying, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. And then they repeat it over and over and over again. Consistency. That ball there will go exactly the same way every single time if I do the same thing. So the hardest thing to get is to be able to say, this is what I've got to do, and then repeat it over and over and over again. If you want to be more consistent, that's what you have to do.